I'm back. I've had a very busy day. Very busy day. I have been dragged just about everywhere today with Mr. Chong. So, oh God. Ugh. I've had a nice day off. I figure I'd see who's over here and wants to talk today. And I've been watching. I've been watching YouTube with the star stuff, and I'm not so creeped out about the Milky Way no more. Because apparently the Milky Way is, with all of its chaos, is keeping stars, bad stars, away from us. So, oh, hello. Oh, I gotta see. I gotta put on my eyeballs. Oh, I'm good. I've just been watching a bunch of astrology, and it was amazing. I was creeped out about this whole Milky Way stuff, but apparently it's put there and its function is to help us. So, I mean, it's amazing all the chaos goes on there in the black holes, but I guess they keep the gravitational pull of dwarf stars away from us. And they wanted a full explanation that took an hour long. And I guess there's a neutron planet that has all of the stuff, all the energy of one planet in this small thing, and they go in these big stars, and it actually saves it. Like, I guess their sun would suck it up, but the Milky Way suck up things like that. So this is what I got enthralled in. This is what I do on my spare time. Ugh. And then I went on a dog walk. And this dog walk started out as we're going to go just around the corner. Then we went a mile down the street, hit a gazebo. So I decided to do a fictional story today. It's not about a real murder. It's not. It was just a scenario of a kid that would go and kill his brother if he was like hooked on a bunch of drugs. And then what would happen? So I did one of those. Figure I do things like I used to do when I was on Facebook a long time ago. Because I was a blogger for the longest time. I was one of the first Facebook bloggers. So I figure why not blog, and instead of doing my usual look at this tree and that tree, I might as well like do fictional fairy tale stories that maybe make people think before doing bad things. Kind of like what they do in children's tales. So that's where that video popped up. It's one of my testing things because I'm trying to figure out what works between here and Facebook. Yeah, I've been doing Facebook and Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter stuff all day. And then in between all that, I just been sharing it to you guys because I was trying to do a promotional thing for like Instagram and Facebook about why not, like, kind of like an anti-gun thing, and how you can be on drugs and kill the one you love. That's kind of how I want to come across. So I hope I did a good job. So I mean, I did what I could, but I figured why not. So this is what I've been doing all day, and then walking, and it was crazy. Oh, I'm not sad. I'm not sad at all. I keep busy. I do. Facebook isn't easy. It really, really isn't. Everybody thinks, oh, F Facebook and this, that, but if you actually try to be on the other side of Facebook, there's logarithms to it and you can make money. I mean, I'm close to making decent money over there, but it's like you do certain things. My kind of live streaming like this, and me liking to cuss once in a while if it's appropriate, it really doesn't fit over there because I like to smoke weed. And they are weed YouTubers, sort of. Not YouTubers, but live streamers over there, but they don't get as much publicity. It's kind of weird like that. So I've always tried to just veer off from all that because I did a 420 one with Chong with a weed shirt and everything, and they stopped promoting me for a while. So you can do it, it's freedom of speech, but they're not going to promote you a lot. So I don't. But today I think I did pretty good. I was trying to think of something when you're hitting such a delicate subject and how to say it in such a way where you come across nice. And I always put my stuff on the Snapchat spotlight. I feel you can get a different kind of group of people. Even though they're wild and out, I mean they're people, so I try to go over there and I spend some time over there. They have really good editing stuff that I can get over there. And I get so many snaps a day. And there are people I don't even know. But I don't know. I just don't have time to check all the snaps. I got 150 snaps today. And they sent me messages and all that. And I don't have time because that's a lot. Because I still got to go over to Instagram and Facebook and TikTok too. I can't forget about them. I don't know what I would ever do if I got a live button over there. I don't really think I want to do astrology readings over there. They got mademoiselles over there. They got people that wear these hats like a gypsy's coming at you. And they have tables with like red cloth and moon and everything. I just feel like I'm in the middle of some kind of voodoo place looking at these people on TikTok doing that. And I don't know if I could compete with that. That's a lot. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are fake, and I don't know if I would trust any of them looking crazy like that. So I don't know what the hell I would do with a live button over there. I don't know. I mean, you're either totally Christian, and then if you want to do tarot readings, it's like, I don't know, maybe I could do a conversational thing like over here. I don't know. But then who the hell knows who's taking them over? Because September they're supposed to be changing hands, so I don't even know. I just drop shit off there. This always has been the library to me, honestly. I mean, I when I finally got a live stream one over here, I was like, "What the hell am I gonna do?" Because I'm a digital creator, so I just figured, why not do stuff like I would on Facebook? And this is just kind of what we do. We do a bunch of reels and then we just go on live stream and they let you pick a song over there. There's no songs here, but honestly, I'm half deaf. So sometimes a lot of background music, I can't hear things or just it's a distraction anyways to me. So I guess it's okay. But they did. I don't. But I figured this is gonna be the style because this is the only style I know. But other than that, what grade? I have no clue. This is my husband's new bowl. It's Lilo or Stitch. Sorry. and it's silicone. And our friends got this for us. My our friends always buy us stuff all the time. So, and as my sons tell me, I'm lucky because I have rich friends. And in a lot of ways, probably that is good. Like if I need anything, and my friends feel bad, and they'll go in to the store and just buy me a bunch of things. And then my son always tells me, "You are so lucky, mom." And a lot of because I always try to help people. Like I gave my best friend at work. I gave her the crystal that matches this. It's just a different shape because they came as a pair, like best friend necklaces. And I was debating who to give it to, but there's this one lady at work, and we just been working together for like a decade. And I don't think I'm ever gonna not talk to her, so I gave it to her. And honestly, all the favors I get from work are from her. So it kind of works for me. I have good karma because I help a lot. But this thing does hit really good. But he usually leaves me a little pile of weed before he goes to work. And I try to get all my streams done before he comes in with his loudness and starts playing a loud rap music. And then he wants to get on Dead by Daylight, and then he screams his head off. So to avoid all that, I try to do this stuff as long as I can before he gets home. But I hope you guys liked my Instagram stuff. I kind of found it motivating. I'm trying to, I guess, start motivational speaking because I feel I could, if I did that, I can hit all networks, and I feel it could be more money for the animals. Because if Chong deserves a backyard, so should every dog. And if and cats are just as heroic as dogs. I was besides all the astrology crap I was watching earlier because I just took a little bit of weed and this stuff looks interesting to me. I was watching, and one of the people I subscribe to, I actually made my list public because I just don't give a crap who people think I've subscribed to. I never unsubscribe. But there was this snake that was coming in the yard, and I guess she was the cat lady. This woman had like 6 cats. I don't judge because I'm glad these cats had a good home. So, anyways, there's these 6 cats in a backyard with kids, and it was I think a python or something was coming in the backyard. And anyways, the cat went over and it was coming over towards the kids, and the cat was biting the python. The cat was able to walk away from the python, but the python bit their cat. And I guess it was all over the social media. I guess it was, the name was Arthur, this cat. And I think it was England or something they were saying on YouTube. But, anyways, this cat bit I guess they got the snake left, but the cat got bit, and they didn't notice till the next morning, and they went and took the cat to the vet, and the cat died. But there was the other 5. So, but it was very heartwarming. So, like I said, I guess cats can be just heroic, so they deserve a place to stay. Because there's very accounts where cats will stick up for their humans. So I figure said that was I binge watch these too. Sometimes I'd be crying, and especially the dogs are family. And I subscribed this other dog one, and this guy there was a flood, and they went to the rescue workers. I have to go get my babies, or they thought they met his grandkids or something, and he came out with these four pit bulls. I just start crying. I thought it was so beautiful because that would be me and Chong. I'd be like, I gotta go get my baby boy, and people would be thinking I'm literally getting my son, and I'd be grabbing Chong. I like to see stuff like that. I really do. I think if enough stuff like that goes on, it'll outweigh the bad, and I think it would be good for the whole world. And maybe less bad will happen. I mean, I understand that the bad has to happen sometimes, but I would prefer it to be at a balance if we could. And sometimes the good can outweigh the bad if we try. And if it is impossible, I mean, what's the harm in not trying? You're just going to sit home and watch TV and be bored anyway. So, but I did a lot of cleaning today too. I'm organizing my whole house. I actually I I've been called by my kids OCD. They call me the cleaning Nazi all the time. I feel that no matter if it's your clothes or not, if you take them and wash them and put them in crates and then go through things, you find everything that you thought you lost. So I used to with my kids when they were younger. I used to get angry, and then I don't like being angry, so I started getting a big box. And then everything through the house that they would just keep having me put away, I put in this box, and I'd call it the lost and found box, and I would clean. And they'd be like, "Oh, mom, why you?" They're like, "Mom, why?" And I would tell them because I keep picking this up, and I'm not going to argue with you. Lost and found gets thrown away in a week or donated. They go, "Oh, mom," and then they would every week they'd go in there, and it works. Kids don't like that. They don't like when you're ready to donate their stuff or throw away the stuff that really needs to be thrown away. They hate it. I don't know what it is. Kids would love to be hoarders. I've noticed that. I think kids start being hoarders when they're like one. And then when they're five on that fifth Christmas, all of a sudden they want to keep every damn toy in the world. And they don't want to part. If they have 100 balls, they won't part with one. You got to sneak behind them and take them. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I got my cards over here. I just don't like people to think I'm just one thing because I'm not. I do a lot of things in my lifetime. This is just one thing that I do, but I would never try to profit on it because I don't consider tarot reading a job. I consider it something you would do among friends. So, yeah. I mean, it's anything for the animals and trying to get these shelters together. I figure, even Instagram, I try to promote the animal shelters. And I really think it's a good idea, this pause for hope. And it has a really good, catchy saying. Oh, I know you understand. I was just saying, doing a shout out there because I'm trying to get all this together. I feel bad for all these animals and people struggling out there. I mean, Pause for Hope could go for humans too, if I got big enough. I would just be worried that people that had a lot of money would try to make it dirty. So I would have to really go through numbers and get people I trusted to make sure there's no corruption. Because something at that level usually that has some level of corruption and deception. Unfortunately, in this world, so I would have to start out small and start making sure that no one's doing dirty things. Because when you hit, like, I would say even after 20,000, people are trying to either do other things with the money, not give the money where it's supposed to go. I mean, it's just greed. And I'm not greedy, but if you start something that big, there's gonna try to be someone that's gonna try to steal it because they don't want to work for it. And the sad part about it is, if they actually didn't care and actually try to do nice things, they money like that would just come to them automatically in time. That's what happens when people are crazy and deceitful. And I'm really not. I'm happy if somebody just comes by and gives me a bag of oranges. I appreciate everything. I really do. And I feel you should, everyone's action, because that bag of oranges could have meant a lot to that person. They might have, had no money, but they had extra oranges they weren't going to eat, and they just wanted to give you something. And to them, that might have been like someone giving you a gold watch. So I think people forget that in the world. And I don't know, I try to promote niceness because I feel that the younger generation has lost those qualities, I guess, because nobody promotes them enough. You're promoted with all these people promoting gangs. I mean, if you go to school for 12 years with someone telling you what to do and then your parents telling you what to do, why in the hell would you want to be an adult and having some person that doesn't care about your existence telling you what to do? That's a lot of people telling you what to do. And they're not paying you. It's not like they're your boss or benefiting you. So I think this is where the problem begins and lies. Because I tell you, when I turned 18 and went to college and stuff, I was excited to have less rules, and I was determined not to have people tell me what to do. And now that no one tells you what to do, it's crazy because you just realize how your parents were right and you were wrong, and then you're doing the same damn thing your parents did. That's the scary thing about life. It really is. And sometimes I just look at these videos and I get it, you're young, but some of these girls, especially on TikTok, a lot this happens. They had the video where this girl she got a new pair of pants and she's, showing her new pair of pants. I get it. I was a teenager. I wanted to kind of show off my new outfit. And you think the camera would have been turned off. And being an editor, you could turn your camera off and on and you could put your footage together. It's not hard. I think a 6-year-old could do it. And they really can. At 5, they're using computers. It's crazy. But anyways, this girl goes and doesn't turn off the camera, and you see her taking off her pants, and then she shows her underwear and everything, and then puts on the other pair of pants. And I guess this was the ploy to get more views. I was like, OMG. My mom would have literally rolled over in her grave, found something on the way, crawling over to beat me with. And then she'd beat me and tell me I was a dumbass. So I don't understand. So, but yeah, put your question and I'll answer it. Is this the question? I am a love. Alright. Okay, so he's a Leo and you're a Capricorn. Oh, okay, so you guys got in a fight and you've been separated for a couple days, is what you're saying. Because he's cooling off or whatever. I will do a pathway on the situation, but I can't tell you what he's thinking. I really can't. And if it was possible in this universe, I don't think I'd want to, because that would be very intrusive. I would hate for someone to read my thoughts. I really would. I mean, I guess that's the one thing when I started like seeing dead people and stuff when I was younger. I sometimes they watch us, and I feel that's intrusive. So I don't like that, and I would never want to do that. I guess when you're dead, you're bored if you haven't passed on, and that's your own issues. But that's just my personal policy. But maybe there is someone that can read thoughts, but I don't think that would be a fun gift at all. But anyways, the pathway of you and your ex, well, his pathway now, well, I guess would be both of yours technically, since you're both in the same path. You guys are in a full moon eclipse with this situation, which means there's questions that need answers. That's all full moon eclipse means. So, whatever your fight was about, there has to be some kind of answer soon to make it resolve. And what's going around, the circumstances around getting these proper answers is a full moon in Leo. And Leo's all about pride. Leos are sometimes arrogant, and they're good family oriented people, but they could be very arrogant, but they have a big heart. So my husband's a Leo, so I understand. He gets very strung out, and I think he hates me, and then all of a sudden, bam, and then he comes back. That's how Leos are. They're really weird. They don't fight a lot sometimes, but when they do, it's like you feel like it's the end of the world. Then all of a sudden, they come around. And then you also got a new moon in Virgo, and that usually means that somebody's, not giving, they're taking be more than they're giving, and it could be emotionally or financially. It does generally in this kind of reading, it would be emotionally. So I feel you should give him maybe a couple more days and maybe shoot him a text and just say you're sorry and you'll give him his space. And I think he'll come around. So, but I would just give him time to think and don't be too pushy because Leos are very high strung and they don't like to be aggravated, and they get easily irritated. That's I mean I've ever and I say this because I know a lot of Leos. I'm surrounded by them. And every Leo I know acts this way for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just saying you firsthand, so. But thank you, and thank you for caring about the animals, Charlie. Oh, hang on. Shia? I think I said your name right. I hope I did. Shia. Thank you for being friends with the animals and humanity in general. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate the conversation. So, because I editing, most of my life is consumed with editing. My son actually commented on one of my reels. I sent it over. I was dancing at the Happy Sunday dance. I thought you guys would think it's cute. My son put a thumbs up. I was talking about good vibes and stuff. He got excited. He put a comment on it. But I was trying to have fun. with my editing because I feel that everybody should have their soft side. And I feel if more creators did that, and just did something fun with people, the world be a better place. Because it's good to have a communication hub where it's more than just one person. I kind of feel this is, and I always invite people from Facebook over here all the time. And I think a lot of people from Facebook did come over here and find me. I don't usually I don't share my terror streams over there because they're really religious over there. And they might get a little offended. There's not a lot of tarot. I don't know any tarot readers over there. It's just not really a thing. So I kind of just you can advertise it if you're doing it somewhere else, but I guess you wouldn't get a lot of recognition and then you would lose followers. I have been getting some new ones, and I think there is some people that did follow me over here. And Instagram, I'm actually getting a couple more. I was shocked, but I'm getting recognized. I keep going on these audio pages with the artists because they have I think all of you guys have seen it when you're posting. And, and like, I don't know, a couple months ago, everything I was doing wasn't going to the artist's audio page on Instagram, but now they're all going to the audio page because I'll do all my reels, and I've been trying to do some good ones, and then it goes and gets shared to the artist page all the time. I think it's a good sign. I don't know. All I know is it hasn't benefited me yet. I get it. I appreciate it, but I'm not seeing the benefit. But I will see in time because I only got 3 followers after they keep sharing these reels to the artist's Instagram, which apparently a lot of people have. I did not know that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there was another question. Am I going to meet my soulmate? I am a Capricorn. Annette. All right. All right, Annette. Let me see the pathway to your soulmate. I figure I could blab a little because it would look crazy if I didn't talk in between. So it is live streaming. I am trying to keep track of questions. I want to know how people get lists going. There has to be a list. Oh, oh, you're welcome. I'd try it. I'm very inexperienced over here. I come from Facebook, and it's very rugged over there. It's not very defined, and it's whatever. And over here, there's apparently lists when you're live streaming, and I don't know how to get these lists going. It sounds terrible, but I really don't. So I'm trying to do a mental list now because you can tell I went from pod scum to bottom feeder. So I'm trying to be a little more professional. I didn't really about it before because I barely had subscribers, but now I'm shocked. All right, your soulmate Annette. See, that's an easy one. For some reason, it's such it's traditional name. I don't want to say basic because I don't want to offend you. Traditional names like mine, Michelle, and then yours and that, it's like we have very basic names that are easy to remember and everyone in the world knows to pronounce them. Those are the only ones, unfortunately, I know how to pronounce. So I'm trying to learn how they do these fancy names. But your soulmate pathway, you're in a full moon in Capricorn with that. And and this just signifies that you've had some rough times. And it doesn't mean love wise, it just means a tough life cycle. It could mean anything. Whatever you were going through that was kind of tough, could be financial, anything. Oh, well, that's good. Some people are. I would be on Facebook and mispronounce someone's name, and they would really get mad and report me. That's why I'm not over there no more. I'm just done. It's, I mean, they're very sensitive, and I try to be really nice, but sometimes I don't know. That's sometimes they're overly sensitive. But anyways, your two circumstances around the soulmate path is a first quarter moon. And it's just about, I guess, commitment to yourself and to kind of making your life where you want it to be. Going towards, it's a personal goal card. It's nothing like, it's nothing crazy. And then you got a dissembling moon where it just says for you to take a break or do something fun or go on vacation, whatever you need to do to relax. So you got a relaxing card and find yourself card. I feel that your soulmate is going to come when you're kind of discovering the you forgot about. They say your inner child. And inner child doesn't mean anything horrible, it just means what you were before everybody told you what to do and what you really wanted to do, your purest of heart. When you discover your purest of heart and you sync with it again as an adult, this is when you find a soulmate. I always try to entertain my inner child. I watch Disney still. I love it. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I like Disney because there's just things that I've liked as a kid, and I don't care that I'm not a kid no more. I'm still going to watch it. I love the Disney zombies. I love how they had the zombies, they fixed them and they go to high school. And I loved how that it was all, I love their musicals. I mean, sometimes you need to. All right. Oh, I do. Every day. I do what I need to do in life because you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're only guaranteed the day you wake up. I have learned this from being sick and being in two car accidents and everything else. Because that is what life's about. And when the end comes, it comes. And I'm hoping I have a bullet to the head or I'm on hospice. These are the ways I would like to die. Will I die that way? I don't know. I would have to live to old age if no, if the other circumstance doesn't happen. Oh yes, everybody should have a list of how they would like to go. I'm not saying I'm being pessimistic. I'm just saying these are my wishes. Death is how you go out is just as important as how you come in the world. That's why I'm over here. I I figure, I might as well go out with a bang. At least I'll know that I was, when I die, I tried live streaming and made it to YouTube. And I did what I wanted to do, and hopefully, I become digital creator of the week before I die. I work on a bucket list every day. Obviously, I was given life by God, and apparently, God's all around us. So I might as well make use of my time and a good use of my time. I mean, I feel promotional stuff might help with, with humanity, and whatever I could do to promote and whatever, why not? And it's not so much promotional like all that over here. I think it's more Instagram and all that over there. Over here, it's more like chilling. So it's not like that kind of live stream in here. You don't want to drown or burn. Oh yeah, drowning and burning would be horrible. Those are the I fear drowning and being burned because I feel it would be horrible. I really do. I mean, that one lady that I can't think of her name, the lead singer of the Cranberries. My younger son was telling me that she drowned. She's like, obviously she's from Ireland, you could tell. I think no, she's not from, I don't know what it was. The ones that sang 99 Balloons, I forgot. But anyways, she fell in, I think it was a lake. I don't know how, I don't know, and I guess the lake was frozen. I don't know how she got on it or whatever, but it was like all huge over YouTube. And my son, he was a YouTuber too, so he was telling me about it and telling me that she went under there, and when they found her, she died of hypothermia. And I think it was one of the bands over here did one of her remixes and donated all the money to her kids. And it was horrible, and I felt bad because she had to drown. Or like Elvis Presley. God, I want to say I know Jimi Hendrix drowned in his own vomit. They that is a known. I remember my mom telling me that. I think Jimi Hendrix had a horrible death. Elvis, I want to say they said he was. Oh my god, I don't know. I can't even say because there's so many different ways everybody said he died. But I know Jimi Hendrix died. He fell in his own vomit because he was more of an alcoholic than anything else. And this is the God honest truth. The Beatles were trippers. And honestly, they've lived and prospered longer than a lot of artists. I mean, some of the Beatles are have passed away, unfortunately, and it's one of my favorite groups. But I don't think they're like. I guess they did trip, but it wasn't like they spaced it out and stuff. So I guess it's okay once in a while. But I guess out of all of them, they look pretty young. And they've lasted a long time. And John Lennon, obviously, he was shot, but God, he would have lived a long time. The Beatles just had really good karma and somehow really good stamina and long lives if they were allowed to live. But I don't know. I don't think Yoko Ono did it. I don't want to think his wife had him murdered. They always say that when an artist of that stature dies, they think the wife might have done it. I don't want to think she did. I really don't, because I really like him, and it would be terrible. And it was terrible they didn't even have kids. The guy from Queen, the lead singer, I watched that movie. Oh yeah, you can ask a question. Just put it in there. But yeah, he ended up dying in the movie, and he was bisexual, but he ended up. But at first he was with a girl, and the girl ended up leaving him. And then he ended up finding a man that that he was always with, that kind of followed his path, and they got together. And then the girl wanted to get back together with him, but he didn't want to do it because she got together with another guy. And then he had a kid with someone else, and I felt sad that them two couldn't have had at least one kid. He did die peacefully, for what I hear. It was in the hospital, but it's sad that he couldn't have a kid. Maybe he should have had somebody artificially inseminated or some at that point. I mean, that girl went through all that trouble to find someone else. She could have at least just stuck it out with him. I mean, he's one of the greatest voices. I personally think his voice is awesome. How could you not? You would have to be, even if you lived in a tree, you would have heard of Queen. But, oh, I'm good, Maria. How are you doing? I am doing tarot card readings if you want a reading. I mean, I don't even think about doing readings. I don't. I guess honestly, I just look to whatever happens in my life. Sometimes I just like to be surprised. I've just got that. Sometimes I just lose faith in the universe. Sometimes, especially when bad things happen or just crazy shit happens, and then I'm like, whatever. And then before I know it, after all this crazy chaos happened, somehow I benefited and it turned out better. So my mom always said there's always some kind of light at the end of the rainbow, or there's a rainbow at the end of a storm. But sometimes the storm of life is horrible. It really is. It's like you pay one bill, another bill, and then you're so used to just like all your money is sustaining you, and then all of a sudden, bam, you got abundance. It's weird, but it seems like it's a cycle in life. I've noticed because I try to count cycles in my own life. It's like every 10 years I had a child, and then it just stopped. So I think everybody has a different vibration and cycle, because me and my friend was talking at work and I didn't know he was spiritual. And it's so weird how things like this, when I don't advertise things like this at work, all I ever tell people is I do tarot readings because they're a very Christian group. And I appreciate and respond, and I'm very respectful to them, so I don't share any of these streams to my Chong group because I know they're very religious and they would get offended. So I just keep it separate. And I understand. I was Catholic and I guess I still am. I still believe in like Catholic values and stuff, but the Catholics don't like me because I feel there's another side along with theirs. So sometimes I'd argue with priests. So, is this a question for the Tara? Yeah, me too. My one friend, we grew up. I love her. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking shit about her, but she was posting. And I don't mind. She lives all the way in Colorado. So, and I didn't even know she moved to Colorado. And she used to live over here in Ohio. And all of a sudden, she's all the fuck all the way in Colorado. Oh, you did your question. Oh, I gotta find it then. I told you it's a crazy operation over here at Chong. And say, why will five message me again? That's not a five. Well, S. All right, you want to know if a man is messaging you again, or the person? I mean, you don't have to put it what relation it is. I'm not in your business. Okay. I mean, whatever. If you don't want me to know the circumstances, it's okay. I respect your privacy because I feel we all should have privacy. But The cards are giving the pathway reading to that is a new moon in Scorpio, which means it just means personal fears. That person has personal fears. That's all that's saying there where they're at. And what's following and the stuff surrounding it is a waxing moon, where and that just means energy is gaining momentum. It's moving. It's slowly getting better. So I guess in this case, if they're working through their fears, I would say they're starting to realize, come to a conclusion of, you know, the relationship. So, and then the other circumstance surrounding it is full moon and Leo, which means that's your pride card. And not in a good way. That was a laugh out loud joke. But, anyways, when we talk about pride, we're talking about arrogance. That's what a lot of Leos, I guess, suffer with through their life. And he has to get through his ego to realize and admit they're wrong. So, I don't personally know this person, so however stubborn you think that person is how long is it's going to take. Honestly, so I don't know. I mean, the more stubborn, the longer it's going to be. Any bomb or grave. Oh, well, thank you. Well, if you're best friends, honestly, because I did take psychology in my day, so oh, thank you. You're well. Thank you. I appreciate your conversation. Sometimes you get tired talking to the husband all the time. I love him to death, but I don't. Sometimes talking to your husband all day makes you want to go crazy. So when he's at work, sometimes I like talk to different people, and that's why I find I find I like coming over here because I feel like I'm talking to my friends for a while, and I did something for the day. But I think I got them all there. Was it? Oh, okay, yours. I did take a bit of psychology in my day, and I took a lot of different poems because it's one of my favorite subjects. If you were best friends, and and you're not speaking, a lot of times, if you had a bond of friendship before you were romantic, it's hard to walk away from being near a man or woman. Men could be a little more stubborn, but if you have that bond and you try to, and if you approach it in a slow manner, generally they're more forgiving if you were friends before you slept with one another because there's always some kind of bond. And if you have usually if it's we always have a friendship bond before romantic bond comes. And if you just sleep together, and you don't even get that bond, I guess the worst part of it is you're trying to create a friend bond and a romantic one at the same time. And it's really hard. And that's why you have periodic breakups. So, but if you guys were friends and then this happened, it means you already had one bond. So it would be easier to get back together, I guess I'm saying. Because there's feelings there and there's more for you're going to forgive your best friend that you became romantic with more than just someone that you got romantic with right away. That's why the old school is take it slow. And that's why they say it. And that is the only reason they say it. And that's why these years they say those friends with benefits situation, which my sons love to do, or they used to love to do. That's why they say to separate your feelings. But sometimes people don't. But it's because if when this bond happens, that's when it's harder to walk away. So if you're best friends, it's going to be that much harder for them to walk away. So I think you have a very good chance clinically. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can share some of my help from psychology because I did like to study because I was confused as a kid. I didn't know how to have a proper marriage or nothing, and I like I like school. I think he will come back, but I would make it look like a new beginning instead of just oh, we're getting back together and this is the new process. If you present a renewal as a new beginning and you put it in that context, people seem to like it better. It doesn't sound so obtrusive. It sounds more inviting and it makes people think that you really care and love them when you do it in that way. Just say, I love you. Can we have a new beginning? It's not going to be the same. We're just going to have to maybe agree on different things and start over again. But the thing is, starting over again, you got to let all that other crap go. And that includes if they slept around, if they had sex with someone else, and you at that time say, let's let it go, that means you forgave them for everything. And if you can, at that point, do a fresh renewal, that's generally when a marriage sets in. So that would be my advice for that. And it depends on how far you want to go with this. If you want a marriage or something similar to a marriage, a long term relationship can present itself as a marriage. Just you don't have the financial benefits of it. So I guess that would be the question of the day. You just got to think about it. Well, maybe communicate when. Do you still have his number? If you go ahead and put is your question over here? Yeah, they do. There are lots of people. I married, oh Jesus. I married my best friend. So, I mean, we broke up for 4 months at one point and then we got back together and we just never broke up again. And we just decided, we really loved each other being together, not together for 4 months. Sometimes these things happen. It's horrible. I had to go see counseling. I took psychology and still I knew that it would benefit me counseling. And I took counseling during our breakup. So and honestly, I learned more because psychology is a field that's always ever changing and new ideas are being put out. And I kind of knew what he was going to do, but it benefited me, I guess. So I'm just sharing some of that knowledge from when I went to counseling because I knew I didn't want to be a psychopath if I talked to him again. So, or just a good friend that you know that you can get your feelings out to make you more objective instead of emotional will help. You got to be more objective and you have to, because it puts pressure on another person. And it's God's honest truth. You go, men don't like to feel under pressure when it's their feelings and, their love life. They don't like to. Gives them security. Men want a family. They want somebody. Women want somebody. It's just human nature. So that would be my advice, even there. And I learned that from a counselor. And honestly, maybe the counselor was. It was kind of good we broke up, so I could go to the counselor, and it was years ago because it really did help. But if you can't afford it, like I said, just talk to your mom. Moms are good with that. I mean, just getting it out. If you have to get it out with words, if you got to get it out with talking to someone, writing it down, however you need to get it out, just get it out. Get those feelings out and try to reevaluate who you are and make a new start for yourself. And then that brings other things to your path. And it is God's honest truth because I do these things myself. I practice what I preach. So, and honestly, I think one of the worst things I ever did was menthol cigarettes. Even though they taste so good, oh my god. Because I loved Marlboro menthol. It was my favorite. I was breathing bad and I would sit there and try to smoke less and I was having breathing problems and then that's when that stupid respiratory therapist talked about all that crap and told me I need to quit menthol. Now the husband's telling me vaping's worse. I've been I've had doctors check me out. I said I want to know if I got popcorn lung. They checked me out and everything and there's nothing. When I was smoking, there was effects that was starting. But all that went away. But after the 10-year mark, they said you still can get COPD. I've heard that from top-notch professionals in my field. So if you are smoking cigarettes, if you have to, do what I do. Just occasionally puff your vape, and then maybe just try. I'm trying to actually slow down and quit that too, and just smoke weed more. Like I'll just hit it occasionally, but I think I'm gonna like just try to get down where I'm not buying one at all, and maybe just chew on gum like I used to. While I'm at work, I won't smoke weed at work because I don't think anybody should be intoxicated anyway at work. I don't condone this. 'Cause I don't want it to come back to bite me in the ass that I said that was okay because it's not. Sometimes I guess when I've heard when you're doing things like that, you gotta make sure it doesn't sound bad because people can use your words against you. And it sometimes comes out the wrong way. And I try to be conscientious of this. Well, my husband had me blocked for I was blowing up his phone when we were broken up, and he blocked me for 3 months, literally. And then I gave up, and I actually started dating someone else. I started dating a cop. And anyways, I never dated a cop before. It was an experience. It was nice, but sometimes I don't know. He does smoke weed and everything, which was okay, but They're like superheroes, so you got to hear a lot of epic tales. He was a, I dated a detective for a while. And I did kind of move on and I did drink some moonshine here and there. And the one day, the moonshine, I will tell you my moonshine story. I was depressed, obviously, because I loved him and we wasn't together and I just couldn't move on. I sort of was what the cop, but wasn't what the cop all at the same time. Me and this cop been friends for like, I don't know, 7 years, and it just happened. But anyways, one of my friends had a entity in their house, and they didn't know who to get rid of it. I don't sit there and I'm not Scooby Doo. Oh, hello. So, anyways, I told my friend, I can't say names over here, but I told her I'd go over and get rid of the thing that's in her house that's been haunting her mother for and followed her and was tormenting her for 20 years. So I go there with all my stuff, and the vibes were pretty fucked up. It was real fucked up, these vibes. So I told her I had my holy water with me and all this stuff. I came equipped. And anyways, I did a bunch of stuff, and there was a lot of sage and a bunch of stuff. It took a lot of energy, but I got rid of it. It was pretty ugly. And then she went to go for my payment and blah blah blah. I smoked cigarettes back then. She bought me a pack of cigarettes, a Pepsi, and I got a bottle of apple pie moonshine. I was like, oh, okay. And just feeling the crazy energy of getting rid of an entity. I I was on a high. I was like feet. It was I felt on top of the world. So I go over to where my husband was living, and you can just imagine I'm on moonshine, and when you're that apple pie moonshine from the bootleggers in West Virginia, the ones that actually taste like you're eating apple pie. I just kept drinking it out of the bottle. I had like half of it drank before I even got over there. And then my friend was like, "Are you sure you want to go see him like this?" I was like, "Yeah." I went over there screaming in the driveway, and I caused a big old scene. I didn't think he ever was going to talk to me again. I think they were going to call the police at some point. And then my friend just brought me in the car and told me, and then she brought me home. So, oh, okay. But yeah, it was crazy. So, I feel for you. I feel for anybody going in this situation because I hurt because I was going to the counselor and still had an outburst on moonshine. And sometimes these cycles go this way, but sometimes they can give you a funny story. And we never fought again after this, and after that we don't even consider it us breaking up. We just consider a separation period where we realized how much we loved each other. It made our relationship stronger. So I guess that's the advice I could give you with that. And we still talk about the moonshine story, and my older son always tells me that I'm crazy because I'm sitting there and he's the one that had to calm me down. My older son. He's the one sitting there. He goes, "Mom, I swear sometimes you're a damn psychopath." And this is why I don't drink a lot, because if I drink under duress circumstances, I'd be talking crazy. I mean, sometimes that's my emotions come right out when I drink. So I really try not to drink a lot because I feel it's not a good activity for me. especially when it makes you do stupid things. This is probably the reason I was always terrified of lean and all this stuff that was out there. Because I remember years ago, one of my sons told me to not take 7 Up from people. And I was like, why? He was talking about lean. I'm like, oh my God. And then there was that Mac. God, I forgot his. It's something Mac. He died from somebody doing something to his lean before he was doing a show. So then he became more paranoid after that. I mean, people are just doing some shady stuff out here. I mean, you gotta watch out for yourself. And honestly, I just feel bad for the people that get caught in between on all these things because they really suffer. I would, if somebody handed me a rock that looked like, I don't know, like a grain, whatever, that I've seen, well, that those crack rocks on TV. Somebody tried to tell me to smoke that, I'd tell them they're fucking crazy. And that would be, I guess that would be my response to it. And this is why I don't understand drugs. Because as my brother always put it, why would you smoke something that's named after the crack of your ass? It's true, but I feel bad for all the people that get in the crossfire. I do feel horrible for them. It makes them make really bad decisions. I feel bad decisions. We do get out and make good of them eventually because you have to, but it sucks up good parts of your life. You know, especially if you're in jail or something. And let's say you go in at 20 and don't get out till you're like 50. You didn't get that 30 years that you would have had a family or something. I mean, it's sad. It's just a sad existence to have. And I feel bad for people that happens to. Or even worse, the ones that die in prison. I mean, I've never been there, but it doesn't seem like a place people want to go. And I've heard horror stories, and I guess I wish there was a way to kind of make all these bad things go away, and I don't see how I don't see how it's possible. The only way it could go away is if people want to go away. So I don't know the answer. All I know is I say no all the time. I don't get offered because I'm always at work or here, but I would just say no. And I know that they have endless commercials on this, but I feel that people just think it's somehow it's cool. I don't know how it could be watching New Jack City and things like that, even though it's a fictional movie, which is very good. We watched that the other day, New Jack City. I love New Jack City. I do. I think that's one of my favorite ones. So, but yeah, very epic movie. But it depicts kind of how people are and that kind of thing. And I guess all the new, I want to say the compounds. I mean, I don't know the exact compounds of these, but I would say they would be derived or altered in different ways to tweak it. But either anything that's tweaked and all that, just like it's sometimes dangerous to take antibiotics. This is where I get in trouble. Is antibiotics and things. I mean, things a doctor prescribes can kill you. I don't know if I would trust someone that he wasn't a doctor giving me anything. And people do. But I just hope all through my like Instagram stuff and Facebook stuff that people get an understanding. I really do. Because life is We all have a mission, and I feel that things like that are meant to divert us from our mission of unity. Because you can't unify if you're not fully there. And it only makes sense. If your brain isn't there where you can't make smart decisions, then how can anybody unify? And that's just logic telling you this. So, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you the answer. All right. All right. Are you asking if you're going to get in dental hygiene school this summer or somebody you know? I'm just asking. I was just reading the question. Okay, so you want to know if you're going to get in dental hygiene school. That's a good profession. You got to pay the dentist. You can't, they won't work on your teeth unless you do. It's for you. Okay. Oh, that's a good profession for you. If you can go be a dentist. Oh my God, they don't, they get, you got to pay up front. You get your money up front if you're a dentist. You really do. I think you'll like dental hygiene. I think I would like it over nursing, honestly. If I can go back and do it all over again, instead of just being in the nursing field, I would do dental. I'd be in the dental field. I feel it's just less more complicated. Congratulations for a good life choice. I wish I was as smart as you when I was younger. Well, we'll see what the pathways say about this dental hygiene. But I would suggest this manifesting thing. People I've been talking to over here, you used to be a dental nurse. Oh, no, there's a dental nurse now? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought they were just assistants. I didn't know they were nurses. So I guess it's even better. I guess nurses could go straight into that. Look at the medical field's wide open now. But you got a full moon in Scorpio for the path of this, which isn't bad. I mean, this could be a bad card depending on the situation, but it's just saying that you have a lot of doubt and you're scared. That's all it means. Negative means doesn't always mean bad. It just means you're scared. You have it could mean anxiety. Anxiety is a negative feeling too, which is not bad. I'd probably be in full moon in Scorpio too, if I had that kind of decision to make in my life. So, and then the cardinal moon and first quarter moon surround it, which isn't bad because cardinal moon just means make the first move, and you obviously you're going to if you're trying to get in there. And the first quarter moon just means it's a commitment card. So if you really want to do it, it's going to come. That's what the cards are saying. You might have to, do maybe a little extra stuff. They might ask before you get it. It might be something simple. I don't know. I'm just picking up there might be something else, but I believe you're going to get it. So, I mean, I hope you very good luck on this. I'm very happy for you. I wish you were my hygienist. I gotta go give them $500 for another because the one dentist said that two deep cleanings should have done it. But I'm not trying to argue. I'm just giving them $500 for a third one. I wish I was going to you. I think that you would make sure my teeth were clean the first time. And we do need good dental hygienists. But I did not know there was a dental nurse. Out of all these things I try to look up in the world. See, I learned something new. But I hope I was helpful. I do try to be helpful. I feel if I wake up in the morning, if I'm feeling good and healthy, I should be helpful for the day. Because I am an STNA also, and I go to work, and that's what I do is I help people all day. So I guess helping people's in my blood. I don't know, just being a nurse is just has too much going on. Very a lot of anxiety. You guys go through a lot. I see what you guys go through. I could pass the courses. I don't think that job would be for me. I'm okay as an aide. So, but I like I said I believe you're going to get it, but it's going to be something with paperwork, and as long as you can work through the paperwork process, you'll get it. And that's not a big deal to get a job like that as a dental hygienist because that is a kick-ass job. I would love to have this job or work in a lab. I might actually do online classes to work in a lab. I was thinking about that. I'd like to look at interesting, nasty things all day. And I would love to do work just be like looking at microscopes and things. I feel that that would be a good path for me. That or funeral home. And believe it or not, folks, working in a funeral home is hard to do. I would love to be an embalmer. That's another dream job I have. But you have to go to a special college for this. And there are colleges around, but a lot of times people that own a funeral home sometimes already went to school for embalming. So they're hard, embalming jobs are hard to find. But I would love to be an embalmer. I mean, I feel that that would be fun, draining the blood out and moving the organs around. Things like this would probably interest me. But amazingly, this takes more schooling than a nurse for some reason. There's actually a list of people that would love to be an embalmer. And you make actually a really good amount of money. Embalmers, if you can get a whole embalming job, I think they make close to 50,000 a year. Embalming is a very different business, and there's very few embalmers. But we'll see what the future brings me. Maybe I can get a internship at a funeral home because I would do that, and then just work PRN at the nursing home and be an embalmer somewhere else. Maybe like I always wanted to buy a nursing home and make it the way I wanted it to be, where the residents would be happy. That's me and my brother's dream, to get our own nursing home and do that. But I've always had personal dreams of owning a funeral home. And if I own my own funeral home, they can't tell me I can't be my own embalmer. I mean, I can just train myself. I could like have somebody with me, and what are they going to do? You need. I maybe I can get an assistant embalmer, but death is big business. It really is. I feel if I had a nursing home and a funeral home, it does sound a little sadistic, but it would work. Because I did work at this one place, and the guy's dead, so I guess nobody would go to jail at this point, and it changed hands a couple times. But he was a director at a funeral home and administrator at a nursing home. And a lot of times, when the residents died, they liked him so much they had him direct the funeral home, and all the people that died went over to him. So it was, and I even asked the one person if it was double dipping. And I don't think it technically was because that was his side career. And then technically, if this is not double dipping, I feel this would be make people rich because you're that much closer. You're that much closer to death. You treat all these guys really good, and if you own the the nursing home and own the funeral home, you can give 30% off. And you know how much business you would get? That's a lot of money. You'd probably be in the $1 billion range, probably after, I don't know, 6 months. That's $1 million idea out there. But yeah, I would do like own a small nurse. Like I would like just own like one nursing home and then one funeral home. And then I would just give discounts. If you was a resident at at my nursing home, or if I got big enough, I got a couple. If I got a couple nursing homes, I would say, if you're in this corporation that I own this, I'll do your funeral for 30% off. That was one of my other fun ideas I wanted to do in the world. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see where the world gets me. Maybe I'll get to be an embalmer one day. Or maybe it's just such an offshoot idea that it's just not going to happen. Who knows? But that would be a fun idea. It really would. Because I feel I would respect the dead a lot. I do. I feel this. Because I was given a compliment at one nursing home I worked at when I was younger. I felt bad because the person wasn't going to have a funeral. I guess he didn't have any kids or nothing. He was an awful person, and he was not going to be laid out. He was going straight to the slab. That was it. And everybody was coming to the nursing home to view his body. So I said, well, even if they're an awful person, I'm going to have to do something. So I went in there, I put on his best outfit. I tried to fix him up the best I could. I took his mouth, even though he had rigor mortis going on, and got it nice and made him look like he was sleeping. And they asked if, and by the time he got over there to, where they do after everyone said their goodbyes, since there's going to be no funeral, they asked if the funeral home was picking them up or what happened because the body looked so clean and nice. Because I try to like fix them up a little bit, make them look a little alive, because I feel after people die, always was. I want to say it started medieval times, where people would have everyone in their living room. And then it kind of just went on after the years. Because I guess they would start smelling and then they'd put them outside. So if they were freshly dead and the rigor mortis set in and stuff, someone dead, they would just put the coffin in the living room and then bury them. And this would happen a lot. Through history, that's kind of what happened. So that's kind of what I did. Just like they did in the old times. I did a historical thing. Took a little makeup, fixed them up and stuff, and I know it was, I don't know, weird of me, but I did get a compliment, and I felt everybody was able to say goodbye properly, and I feel And that, no, that's why I would be a good funeral director. Because I respect death. Even if you're a horrible person, you should have a good funeral. Because that's your last time, that's your last goodbye. And I don't feel it should break the budget, your death. And this is because my family's big on funerals. They literally will talk about. I remember my grandmother talked about on Christmases how she finally bought her headstone and she got land. And then I would say, "Oh, where's my cousin's buried?" Bam, she would know. And then where's my aunt's buried? Oh, over here. Death became a business with my family. I've learned a lot of gambling and death from my family. I know it's a weird thing to learn, but these are truths that I have learned. And I feel I would be a good funeral director, surviving the crazy people I was raised by. And they were crazy. I had grandparents from the Great Depression, and then my mom from the hippies, and that my parents were hippies, and it was a very dynamic household. I would watch literally all the old westerns. I remember watching I Love Lucy with my grandpa. I mean, this is why I can listen to any music, any. Even I like big band music. I like that too. I know it's old as hell, but I still like it. And I know that sounds weird, but I do. I feel there's a dynamic to every lifetime. And I feel every life people live, they left their mark, and you should respect every realm of existence, of time, because they left their mark. If it was bad or good, they left their mark. And honestly, the more we do every day, everyone leaves their mark. It's just they leave it in different ways. We all leave our mark in different ways. Honestly. A lot of times it's through family, sometimes it's through social media, sometimes it's from writing a book. I guess would be social media. Sometimes it's through acts of kindness. Sometimes it's through a random saying. Like that old lady that always, when I was growing up, she'd sit there and she looked like she was. They had the shortest lady that was literally like 80 years old yelling, "Where's the beef?" She became an instant millionaire. I mean, just random things. And I do like to study different random things in the universe. And then you have like all your matrix stuff and all that. I don't know how much I believe in that. I believe that maybe it's the elaborate version of quantum physics, the matrix, but I don't know if I really believe in the matrix as they say it is. Because I mean, the matrix was really far out. I'm not. I don't know if I would fully believe that we're like the middle of the matrix. What I believe in, like deja vu and stuff, yeah, that is plausible. Even though it's not proven, there's a possibility of it through quantum physics. So yeah, I do believe in deja vu for that reason. Manifesting could be a thing if you invest enough energy. You can manifest it with the energy. You could bring an event upon where you would have an opportunity, but then there still be free will. So if you're manifesting a person coming to you, you can manifest an opportunity, but I don't think the universe would have the person go against their free will to be with you if that's what you were manifesting. Because I was thinking about that the one day. And that's the calculations I came with for that. Sometimes I think this is because I smoke a lot of weed, and it probably is. But if you think about it, I don't really get to smoke weed hardly all day. Unless I'm live streaming or something. Because I can't smoke it at work. I really can't vape at work either, so I really can't smoke at all at work. So and then I come home and then sometimes I gotta like do different short reels, like motivational stuff. And I decide I'm gonna live stream some of them myself since it's I guess a new little side career over here. I don't know what you'd call it, but I guess it's my side venture, so I gotta try to maybe they'd be better. So and now I'm here. Which, like I'm saying, this is really is motivational. This is probably the conversational stuff I was supposed to do on Facebook. I believe this is what this was supposed to be, but I did it in polar opposites. But maybe this has worked better for me, honestly, in general, because I feel that maybe I wasn't meant to be all motivational over here, and maybe I was just meant to do that over there. So this is how the universe kind of, I guess it makes my life interesting. You would think it'd be the opposite. You would want to go on YouTube, be more motivational, and be more conversational there. But sometimes for me, it just doesn't work out this way. The more conversational I get, the more diverse my ideas are, the more people get, I guess, upset about things. Because I am a world thinker. I like things in the world always, I guess they intrigue me. Things pique my interest, weird things. I was watching the 200 most unique people in the world, and I'm looking because they had a little boy that was a half of a snake. And this piqued my interest because I didn't think it was possible for people to be another species. Because I used to say, and I'm not sure if there's anybody listening or isn't, but I just feel like telling the story. But anyways, my ex-husband used to always talk about a cabin, and there was reports where people would like go around, and I don't know if they were smoking weed or what was going on, but they would say that rabbits and cats were having sex and having babies. And it was a thing going on, and I was like, maybe it's possible. Maybe that's the slower kitties. Who knows? Because rats are as smart as cats. Rabbits, I mean, not rats, rabbits. But, anyways, it was a thing going on, and then everybody was telling me, no, that's impossible for a cat to have a cat and rabbits have sex and all that. So, after a while, I let it die. I was like, whatever. And then I see this thing on YouTube where there's a little boy that was born from a human being that had a human top half and a snake bottom half. And it was a long video, and I was sitting there on my phone listening to this, and I had this astrological stuff going on in the background. And I couldn't even get to the boy that was half snake. They had little girls. I know about the conjoined twins where you can be conjoined by the brain. That I get and I know. And then the people that, the one man that was like close to 1,000 pounds, I know that can happen. And they had one lady that was real attractive, but her one leg was huge. And it was some kind of condition due to swelling. I knew about that. The snake one, really. I didn't even get to the snake because it was like a 40-minute video. And I wish it was segments. But I don't know. I just subscribed to them, so I'm just gonna go and try to do this. But I didn't think it was possible for interspecies mating. I have been told by a lot of people that it's ridiculous and interspecies. The two people from different species cannot mate. And I always wondered if it's true in some circumstances, but I'm not sure because people tell me just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true either. So I don't know. There's really no plausible truth to the snake theory where if you were just popping up, I was watching a YouTube video about a little boy and when he was born, they showed on YouTube about the snake and that, but I'm not sure about the interspecies. I mean, I've asked people, real smart people, and they said that it's impossible because they said there's no way that there's a cabot. There's that a cat and a rabbit can have sex and have a baby. So there's no way that they're saying there's no way, but I don't know. Maybe one day, just like quantum physics, it'll go upside down and you'll find out there's cabots out there. I mean, you never know. But it's almost 8 o'clock, and the husband's about to get home, and I need to like get dinner started and stuff. So, thank you for listening, and I'll be over here for more socializing on my smoking hour when I'm done with all my other stuff. So, I will be back tomorrow, and thank you if you subscribed. And I will be, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll put over all my videos that I've been doing all day. And you guys have a great day and a great night.